Hello, buddy. What's up? My name's RapCat45 here today. Got my new desk. No, I'm just kidding. It's a cardboard box. That's not my desk. Anyways, yeah. Sorry this video is a little late. But yeah, I got nothing. I'm just gonna go right into the review. Anyways, today we're gonna be reviewing the new Nintendo 3DS, new Nintendo 2DS XL, because there is no 3D. So it's how can I put this? To say the least, it's definitely part of the 3DS family, but it's took the design of not only the 2DS or not only the 3DS but the 2DS out of the window. This thing is truly its own thing, because the 3DSs were always kind of built the same, like, even from jumping from the old 3DSs to the new one, they were kind of the same. The 2DS was kind of the weird in-between thing that was like, okay, it's a slightly different design, but it's still kind of, was a 3DS. This, I have no idea what this thing is. The closest thing I can figure out is that they wanted it to look neat, and then this is what they came up with. But the form is somewhat the same, and at the same time, it's somewhat not. They basically took the design of the 3DS, completely redesigned it, but kept the same kind of form factor, and then made it not 3D. And that's what we have. So, yeah. At first, I was always kind of skeptical about the new 2DS XL, because I was like, well, why would I pay $150 for no 3D if I can pay $150 for the normal size one with 3D? I was like, I guess if you want bigger screens, I guess over 3D, then that's what you do. So I always kind of thought this was kind of weird, but now that I realized they discontinued the normal size, and the normal size was kind of rare anyways, but now they just have this. So this truly is the cheaper model, because the XL is the only other option you got, the 3DS XL. Anyways, this is the Pokemon, or the Pokeball one, rather. And this button does nothing, but it's there. Obviously, because it looks like a Pokeball, except for it's not round. But, yeah. Anyways, let's get into the review, and stop rambling, because I'm very good at that. So at the bottom here, sorry, the lighting's kind of iffy. We got the card slot here. Oh my. Where's the front? This is technically not the bottom, I think I said. You got the card slot, which is here, and then the micro SD card, which is in there. So that's cool, because that means it's easier to get to your SD card. I was never personally worried about that, but apparently other people were freaking out about that. So then you got your headphone jack and your stylus, which I do want to mention is tiny. I want to say this is the size of the 3DS one, the original 3DS, not in like the, because you know how it extended, so this one's like in the not extended mode. It's tiny, but I mean it's thick though, so it's basically just a smaller XL, the 3DS XL. I can't say XL anymore because now there's like 3 of them in the 3DS family, 4 if you count the DSi. Then the power button and the lights, and actually there's the speakers are on the side instead of on the inside. On this side, nothing. On the back we have your ZL/ZR in a different kind of looking way. They're basically the same. It's the same thing. It's just they look different. And obviously ZL/ZR. Oh my gosh, the L and ZL. Charging ports back on the side instead of in the middle, and your infrared thing. On the bottom, the cameras are on the bottom instead of the top, which is a first. I mean, as you guys can tell, this looks nothing like the 3DS, or the original 2DS, which when I compare the two later on, you'll see. And then the top's just normally whatever color you got, and then yeah, I don't know. But unless you have the Pokeball edition, then this is exactly what it will look like. And then if we open it up, we've got basically your standard stuff. So, got your circle pad, got your D-pad, got your C stick. That feels not. Yeah, that's fine. You got your C stick, your A, B, X, Y, non-colored. I don't know if it's colored on the. I think it's just whatever color you got. If it's like the blue and black, I think they're blue. Or if you got the orange and white, it's like orange or something. But the Pokeball one has black. Start and select. Oh yeah, and then your home button's actually over here now. Which at first I thought was the power button, but it's definitely not. And I was wondering why they put it there, but then I realized there's just not really room to put it. For this is slightly smaller than the XL, not in width. It's the same like length, but the 3DS sticks longer out the back, or I guess the front, however you want to look at it. It's about like maybe that much longer. You know, it's definitely longer. I don't know about exactly how much. You'll see when I do the review or the comparison of that too. But I think the screens are still the same size. I think they did with basically what they did with the Samsung Galaxy S8, where they just took a bezel off. Because you can see, the speakers aren't on the side anymore. It's just a glossy thing. It looks really nice, actually. I like how they did that. Especially when it's off. It just looks like one giant screen. Obviously, it's not, but... Oh, yeah, okay, and then this is where the camera is. It's there, like, in the DSi, if you guys remember that. Yeah, your indicator's there, instead of on here. I don't know why. And your speaker's there, too. Or your microphone, rather. And if we turn it on, I mean, same old stuff, really. This is, it's like the same. This is, oops, I accidentally turned it on and attempted to turn it back off. We got the size. I mean, as you can see, it's just the same old stuff. I gotta admit, the screens feel bigger on this one just because the DS is slightly smaller. But yeah, I mean, it's just your same old stuff. It's just, like, literally nothing's new. It's the same old stuff we've been getting since the original. Except for, what was that? Sure it was like that note thing, because they discontinued that. But then they made another one. It's like Swap Note, and now they have Swap Doodle or whatever, which is basically the same thing, I think. But you have to download that. And then, in here you got your... Oh, I didn't check the other side. Yeah, it's just the volume. See, look. Standard DS noise. Home screen. Save such slow layout. Yeah. And then screen brightness. That should be 3, actually. Oh, no. I'll make it 5 for this video just so you guys can see it. Power savings mode off. I don't want the power savings. Who do you think I am? Wireless communication. Oh, yeah, they have to do that, this, because it's not hardwired like the original 3DS and XL. Those are the only two that had the Wi-Fi switches. Nintendo 3DS image share, Amiibo settings. Oh yeah, this is basically the same thing. It's got all the same stuff the 3DS has. I forgot my Amiibos. Home menu manual, contact information. So I mean, it's just your basic stuff, really. Nothing exceptional. I mean, the only thing that's different from any of your other DS hardware is... Nope, that's not the one. Hold on, I'll find it. Don't worry. Nope. I think this is the one. No? Hold on. Give me a minute. I'll find her. There we go. It's basically, it shows you that it's the 2DS. That's really the only hardware change from the other new 3DSs, is that it shows the picture of the 2DS, which is neat because if you think about it, I don't think the XL did that. Well, the XL did because the XL is the main one here in North America, but the normal size, well, it didn't really matter because the normal size looks basically identical to the XL, just smaller. And then the 2DS, I think, just had a normal 3DS picture. And I think the 3DS XL had the normal 3DS picture. And back then, the 3DS and the 3DS XL looked different. Because the 3DS was blocky and the 3DS XL was more curved like the new 3DSs. So yeah, I mean, it's just your standard 3DS. without face tracking 3D or 3D for that matter. So, I mean, honestly, I really like this thing. It's slim. It just feels big because the screens are same. Well, the device is technically smaller, but it makes the screens look bigger. So that's a neat effect that they did. Is it makes it kind of feel bigger when it's actually the opposite. I mean, I got nothing. It's your 3DS for the 6th time. But obviously, Nintendo insists on us keeping these bad boys around. They still want us playing the DS. And, I mean, they're still making games for it. I mean, Minecraft just came out for this thing. Metroid, Samus Return, Hey Pikmin. A few of those came out a while ago, but actually none of those are like super new, but they're like relatively new. Just some. They're obviously still supporting this even while the Switch is going on. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I think product or like games, anyways, have kind of slowed down. Oh yeah, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are on it. I don't know what the difference is between but because I thought like those were just supposed to be like remakes, and I thought they were making Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon on the Switch. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I'm like, that makes sense why you need to remake them. But no, it's still on the 3DS, so I don't know. Someone please explain, because I don't know what that's all about. Because I'm not super hip on the Pokemon stuff. I mean, I play the games, but I'm not like, super into it. But yeah, I mean, it's your standard 3DS hardware and yet another casing. Yeah, that's really it. It's just, obviously some have felt more quality than others. This one, I don't know how to put it. It feels nice, but at the same time it doesn't. Like, some of the buttons feel kind of iffy. I mean, the main build itself feels good. There's just some things that I'm like, I don't know. Like the stylus. I mean, I guess they couldn't really do anything because the system itself is smaller. I can't open it. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, it's going to be there then. It's not going to open. But the buttons kind of feel slightly... They're not as bad as the original 2DS. I didn't like how soft the original 2DS was. Or for even the 3DS XL, for that matter. The original 3DS had alright ones. Those were kind of clicky. I really like how the new 3DSs have the clickier buttons. And then the 2DS kind of... I mean, they're clicky. Yeah, they're clicky, they're not... So, I like the buttons, but, they just don't feel the same as the XLs. And, like, I don't know, the D-pad feels slightly chintzy, a little bit. It's not bad, though. I mean, again, if I'm comparing this to the original 2DS, that's not bad. Overall, I think this is definitely a lot better than the original 2DS. And the fact that it can shut is pretty neat. I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to want to walk around with a DS. Like, if we're thinking of the 2DS, then it'd be open like that all the time. You couldn't shut it. So, and the fact that it's an XL makes a little bit of sense of why they did that. So, budget model, yes. As budget model, no. And that's why I love it. Because it's cheaper. It still feels good. Still feels Nintendo quality. I don't know. I just love it. I like the design of it, actually. Originally, I didn't really like it, but I slightly like it. There's a few things I still question about it, like why the cameras are on the bottom. I feel like that's an easy way to get them scratched, especially if kids, drop it. It's more likely to hit the bottom. If it does, I mean, then you're kind of screwed. I take that back. I guess they could flip onto their top, but... Alright, I don't know. I guess not. I don't know. I just feel like having the cameras down there is kind of weird, but, I mean... I might grow to like it. I don't know. I mean, I guess when it's open, you're not really going to notice that much. You might. I don't know. I haven't tried the camera mode. because it's not really that great. The 3DS cameras are still not good. Hopefully, and then the Switch doesn't have a camera, so we can't. I don't know. Whatever the new handheld's gonna be, better have like decent cameras at least. Cause yeah, I mean it's better than nothing, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're torn between a 3DS and the 2DS, if you have the money for the new 3DS XL, get that, because you have 3D. You basically have everything this thing has, but you also have 3D. It's a little bit bigger, so if you like slightly bigger, that's the way to do it. It's just got 3D. It's got a bigger stylus, if that is totally means anything to you. The new 3DS probably has, it's got more limited edition styles. I think right now this is the only limited edition the 2DS XL has. The new 3DS has like a ton, I believe. It's got like, it's got like the Galaxy. The Galaxy's not really limited edition. It's basically the new color. It's one of the colors. It's got the Samus one, the SNES one. It's got the Samus one. It's got, I don't know. It's got quite a few now. It's got quite a few limited editions now. The original 2DS has a lot of limited editions, actually. It's got the Pokemon one. It's got the new Link one that came out. The Legend of Zelda one. It's got, I don't know, the original one's got quite a... No, I guess the original one doesn't have a ton, but it's got a few. Really, I think the XLs have the most. Both of the XLs. Anyways, I'm gonna stop. 17 minutes. It's probably like the longest video I've ever made. Which I think I made one that's 22 minutes long. I don't remember. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I guess I never finished. Yeah, okay. If you have the money for your 3DS XL, I'd get that, because the occasional 3D you'll have is pretty cool. If you don't have the money, or would rather have $50 more in your pocket, get this one, because it doesn't have 3DS or 3D, but it's nice because it's slightly smaller, I guess, and Pokeball. Or if you want an extra 40 and then you want to get the Pokeball one, I guess that's cool too. Oh yeah, and also this one comes with a charger. The new 3DS XL still doesn't for some reason, but the new 2DS does. So if it's not, I don't know. If you don't have charger already, I guess that's another thing, is this comes with charger. There you go. I'm dropping stuff, so I'm going to stop the video, and it's going to stop right there. Goodbye.